The Krillian pack moved as one, a living storm of muscle and instinct. 6 towering beasts, each nearly 3 meters high, prowled through the shadows with fluid precision. Midnight blue fur shimmered as their bioluminescent markings pulsed in eerie rhythm, warning every living thing that death was near. Their 6 gleaming eyes, arranged in pairs down each side of elongated skulls, scanned for weakness. Crystal-edged fangs dripped with acidic saliva, each drop sizzling against the jungle soil of Krillix Prime. At the center of their circling formation sat Emma Rodriguez, 7 years old, dirt-streaked cheeks glistening with tears. Just 3 hours earlier, the Zeltharan slavers had thrown her onto this forsaken planet, punishment for the defiance of biting her captor during the colony raid. They had laughed as they sealed the hatch, promising the Krillian predators would end her swiftly. They were wrong about the swiftly. The pack leader, a scarred female with a single broken fang, stepped forward. Her growl rumbled through the air, vibrating deep within Emma's chest. The massive creature lowered its head, nostrils flaring as it sniffed the trembling child. Everything about Emma screamed fragility. No armor, no claws, no venom, just flesh and bone. Easy prey. And then something shifted. Emma's sobs quieted. Her breathing steadied. Her shaking hands lowered slowly to her sides. The little girl lifted her head and met the predator's gaze. "Good doggy," she whispered. For an instant, the jungle itself seemed to pause. These beasts had slaughtered armored warriors, hunted giants, and ruled unchallenged for centuries. Yet none of that prepared them for this fragile creature's calm defiance. Emma extended her tiny hand toward the leader's snout. Every instinct screaming danger, but something ancient within her whispered otherwise. The air between predator and child trembled with tension. Every muscle in the pack leader's body coiled, ready to strike. One swift movement could have ended Emma's life, but it didn't. The beast inhaled, drawing in the strange scent of this fragile being. Humanity's scent was unlike anything in the galaxy. Layered with fear, yes, but beneath it something older. The essence of survival, adaptability, and a quiet defiance written into every cell. Emma's fingers brushed the creature's snout. The contact sent a ripple through the pack. The leader's 6 eyes widened. The warmth of the child's skin, hot, alive, was unlike the cold-blooded prey they knew. Her voice trembled, but the words were clear. "It's okay," she said softly. "I won't hurt you. You won't hurt me. We're going to be friends." The pack leader made a low, uncertain whine, an alien sound never recorded before. One by one, the others crept closer. Emma touched them too, whispering nonsense words in a tone so gentle it bypassed understanding and spoke to instinct. Slowly and possibly, the Krillian predators began to change. Their tails twitched, not in aggression but curiosity. Ears tilted forward. The jungle predators, once silent killers, now listened like students before a teacher. Hours passed. By the time the Zeltharan slavers returned, expecting to retrieve bones, they met a nightmare. The pack, led by the scarred female, struck with lethal unity. They tore through metal and flesh, their roars echoing across the forest. Emma, perched upon the leader's back, watched with wide, unblinking eyes, not out of cruelty but understanding. When silence fell, the jungle smelled of iron and ozone. The Krillian pack stood guard around their new alpha, Emma Rodriguez, the small human who had tamed death itself. 3 months later, human rescue teams tracked Emma's faint distress signal to the wild jungles of Krillix Prime. Expecting to find nothing but remains, they descended in full combat gear. What they discovered instead defied every law of xenobiology. Inside a sprawling cave, Emma lived among 6 massive predators who guarded her with the devotion of loyal hounds. The once feared Krillian pack now followed her voice, their monstrous heads bowing as she whispered gentle commands. To them, she was not prey, she was pack. The scientists who studied the creatures afterward were left speechless. Brain scans showed changes that mimicked millennia of domestication. Neural pathways had rewired, forming bonds previously deemed impossible. Dr. Sarah Chen, head xenobiologist, later wrote in her report, "Humanity once tamed wolves. But what we see on Krillix Prime proves something far deeper, that the human drive to bond across species isn't learned. It's coded in their DNA. When faced with fear, humans don't always fight or flee. Sometimes they reach out." Emma eventually returned home, her small hands clutching the pendant the rescue captain had given her. She wept for days, begging to stay with her puppies. The Krillian leader, whom Emma had named Shadow, watched her ship rise into the clouds. That night, Shadow's mournful howl echoed through the canyons, carrying a sound the stars themselves seemed to remember. Across the galaxy, whispers spread of a child who befriended monsters, of a species that looked at apex predators and saw allies, not enemies. Civilizations began to fear humans anew, not for their weapons or wars, but for their hearts. Because in every corner of the cosmos, one truth had become undeniable. Humanity's greatest power wasn't conquest. It was connection.